All right, guys, welcome to the VGRx podcast, your weekly dose of video game news and talk. To my left, I have Brittin.
Hi. Good to
Scott,
see you guys.
I have Scott.
I'm walking around. Hello.
And Dan.
Yo.
And I think this week we're going to talk about upcoming games.
Last week
2018,
we spent the whole show talking about everything we loved about 2017, all the cool games that came out, some of the not so cool games that came out.
What are you trying to say?
We'll leave it at that.
Okay,
We
cool.
don't need to dig
Actually, I mean, we can say one more thing briefly, is that you finished Xenoblade since
I
then.
did.
You beat it?
I did.
Oh,
And-
I didn't know you
and
beat it.
Without going into the spoilers at all, because I think Scott and I are at about the same place right now.
Yeah.
Brittin told me that he thinks Xenoblade is hands down Game of the Year 2017.
You're saying this with a smirk on your face.
And this is someone who is in love with Mario more than any
You heard
man
me go to
possibly
bat
should.
for Mario last week
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Yeah, so
And I
those
meant
of you
it.
who are listening again, just understand he has officially, he stands by it too.
Yeah.
Addendum, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the game of 2017.
He
My
even
favorite
said,
game of 2017.
You even said, you're like, Mario's good, but this game's got to be...
Here's the thing, the juxtaposition of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 against Breath of the Wild, maybe not the most fair comparison, but it's so story-heavy, so character-driven, so world-driven, and that's the stuff I really, really love in a giant open world I want to get lost in.
I'll meet you halfway there. How's
Okay.
that sound? I'm 15 hours into the game, and I can say without a shadow of doubt it's better than Breath of the Wild.
Whoa! Which was your game of the year
I'm gonna
last
have to
year,
have my
right?
roommate listen to this because he started it and he is
Wow.
not sold on the game at all.
How far is he into
It
it?
takes a
He
little
is,
while.
he is partway through the plot in the first city on the on the Titan.
I was the same exact way, and then I started playing it. I got through my first boss battle, and it got me hyped.
Every single
So-
chapter of that game is better than the last.
Okay.
Every single one. That
yeah,
never
and
lets
I'm
up.
a little
till the
ways
end of
into
the game.
chapter 2. A little ways.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we can't go too heavy into it because
No,
you
but
guys.
that's
need
our
to
that's our
experience this
Xenoblade 2
yourselves.
talk for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
We could talk.
Thanks for
So-
bringing that up.
episode.
Yeah, that's an addendum to my
Yeah.
list of Game of the Years
I
last
don't
year.
think there's any other follow-up we need to make to last week or to last episode because it wasn't last week at this point.
How was your guys' New Year's?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah, Happy
it's,
New Year.
It's
First episode of 2018.
January.
Today's
4th?
the 3rd.
3rd? Yeah. It's a new year.
So
And it's going to be
you guys,
exciting.
I love
you
how-
guys won't be listening to this until probably a week from now, but or
Whatever.
much more.
Or a rerun.
We're getting
You
No.
better.
won't be
We
able
need
to
to get
listen
better.
to it until next week.
Yeah.
A delay on upload is fine, I think.
Yeah.
When we get
We'll
better
figure it
about
out.
every single week, we'll have things recorded multiple weeks in advance. Sometimes, I'm sure.
This year, though, this is going to be the year that we do this.
Yes.
We've done already a couple
Hey,
episodes.
we got a solid start
Yeah.
under our
Yeah.
belts.
Well, now we have a reason to.
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Look
early
at
in the
this
year.
professional equipment I have right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's
2
great.
pop
Yeah.
filters.
Yeah, 2
and
pop
a mic
filters.
stand.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. You can't see it, but I'm dabbing right now. Okay.
But before we jump into the what's coming in 2018 list, it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you guys want to mention at all, what you're playing right now? Anybody playing anything remarkable besides Xenoblade? I guess you could mention that again, but
Well,
I'm
I mean,
playing-
obviously Xenoblade.
yeah, good.
Other than that, I mean, I
Love
have
that.
been every once in a while hopping on to either League or PUBG
Yeah.
or
The old
finishing
standbys.
up Pokemon. It's been
I
just
stopped
because of
playing
traveling
Pokemon.
and holidays and people wanting to do things have definitely been significantly lighter the last couple weeks on games. The one exception, one new thing I've gotten back into briefly anyway. I got some Magic the Gathering booster packs so that I could play some Magic.
That's
with my
exciting.
friends.
Has it
Dude,
been a while?
I'll do it with you.
Well, I need to make an EDH deck if we're gonna play.
Okay, let's do it.
But yeah,
I'll
we can
totally
do
get
that.
it. I'll totally
Anyway,
get
so
into
that's
it.
Oh.
I don't plan to go full bore into it because Magic is an expensive hobby.
It's
and
also
so is
sure.
gaming.
a lot of crazy people.
Yeah,
in
I'm
it.
not gonna do both at the same time. But it was a fun thing to go back, visit a friend I hadn't seen for a while, and play some Magic. He did
Very
better
cool.
than I did, despite I
Shocking.
drew some amazing stuff out of those packs, but I just couldn't.
You'll
put
get
it
your
together.
bearings.
I beat Xenoblade 1. I was not disappointed.
I didn't realize you finished that. Okay.
I did. I
Cool.
did finish it. I was not disappointed. I saved right before the last boss because if you can new game plus the game.
Okay.
Not getting super spoilery, but you keep all your same levels and everything. So I want to beat a lot of the quests that do actually take a lot of time to get through that I was almost done doing anyway. So I can take all the stuff that I get from those quests over to my New Game Plus.
And frankly, in a game like this, there's lots and lots of monsters to fight, named things to fight that are harder than the final boss of the game, right?
Yeah,
so there's plenty you could still do before you jump into New Game Plus.
There's some 99 stuff that I want to look at before.
Only 99? Pathetic.
Maybe 100.
Okay.
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be honest. The New Game Plus is probably gonna be way easier because not only do you get a better weapon than you start with, but you also keep your same level and everything else doesn't.
Oh dear.
So when you start the game up, you're like level 90 and you're killing things that are level 1.
That's old school.
Nothing is scaled.
Chrono Trigger was the same way.
Really?
I loved doing New Game Plus because you just plow through it the second time.
Good.
It's very gratifying.
Okay, I'm glad it's not the only game, but I just thought it was really funny that it did that.
It's a
Zach, what
blast.
about you?
I'm playing a new game called Life.
What's that?
No.
I thought you were talking about the board game. I was like, wait, what game? Life.
I mean, because I've been busy, the only game I played is Stardew Valley, which is a little bit late.
Oh no,
That's
fine.
like Life, right?
It's like
That is, yeah.
Do you want to say anything about it?
No, it's actually
It's
been
popular.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
My main goal is to get rich.
It
That's all I'm gonna do.
won some Game of the Year awards.
Did it?
On Steam, yeah.
When did it come out though?
It came
Like over the summer, I want to say.
not this year.
Not
It
this
was
year.
last year.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Last
been
year.
a
Okay,
while.
it hit
ago.
Switch
Just-
this year at some point.
Yeah, it did hit Switch this year.
Had to bring it back
Yeah.
It came
around.
out
You know, with
2016 though,
with
right?
Switch was also the talk about maybe they'll finally do multiplayer, and then I stopped paying attention.
Got it. I
Because I had
couldn't
never
tell you on
actually.
that.
They did.
I think
They
I
did it for
loaded it up
Splatoon, and that was
once.
it.
I loaded that game up once to play for like 20 minutes, and I think I didn't do something that was probably obvious at first because I wasn't sure what I should be doing.
I think it's that kind of game, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I've played other games like that, and like Harvest Moon. I had a Harvest Moon Game Boy game, and like as a kid, I was able to figure out what to do really quickly there, and like there were other things I could do that I gradually figured out. Oh, this would be cool. I should do that. In this one, it didn't have that first step. I'm sure I just missed something, and that it would not have been that hard, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I had
guess
that
I wasn't
experience-
into it that day.
I had the same experience with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Although maybe Minecraft doesn't have that first step, but I was
Minecraft doesn't.
completely lost and aimless.
I mean,
and I came in
When
very
did you
late.
yeah, I was okay. I
I played the
gonna say.
Switch version. That was the first version I played.
Really?
Oh.
And so it's the most
Beta.
current version of the game.
Alpha.
I played Alpha.
Alpha 0.7.
Or-
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They,
yes.
they introduced survival during Alpha, right? Because I played one of the earliest survival iterations.
When I started playing the game, they just added creepers into the game. So super.
I
super
remember
early.
the first time I played, I walked out of, like my little dirt shack and I saw like a skeleton on fire and I thought it was like a fire demon. And I freaked out. I
basically
ran back
was.
Did
inside.
you
Yeah.
did you pay American money when you bought the game?
No.
Then you're not a real fan?
Yeah.
I paid
don't
like
remember.
$12.
I had to pay in euros just to get the
I don't
game
remember.
because
Yeah,
it
it was. It
in euros.
That's a good story.
It came out to $12. I think it might have been €10 or $8.
Back when
I
I don't
remember
remember
paying
what
10,
the
but I
exchange rate
don't.
was.
Back when it was Notch owned Minecraft and
Mhm.
what was it, Mojang? No.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
the company,
Mojang.
right?
Was it?
That's
okay.
his company.
But I know they changed the name of it.
Well, Mojang
No.
probably wasn't a thing
Mojang
when,
just
when
got
he
bought
made
by
Minecraft.
Microsoft.
Oh yeah, and then they just made it. They don't even consider themselves Mojang anymore. They just call them like the Minecraft company or something. Like
Oh,
that.
okay.
They're like, hey, we make billions of dollars. It was like
Good thing
that game.
Microsoft's leveraging it so well.
They're milking it. That's for sure. Kids buy
That's
it.
their style. Buy things that are popular
and
when they're
kids
no
will
longer
continue to play it,
popular, and
yeah.
then think we could still make money off of it.
The
You bought the Switch version, so
I'm talking about Microsoft's use of.
But I'm saying like
so
it's a
Yeah.
game that's still making money.
You're right. They got me. Dang it.
Yeah. Regardless.
Point proven.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
the Windows 10 version is trash.
Windows 10 version.
The Windows 10 version is trash. They just push like sales and skins and packs, and they make
Yeah.
it super hard to
Did
play.
EA take it over?
No,
No,
Microsoft. did.
It was
runs
a joke, guys. Get it
Oh.
microtransactions. Ha!
I don't get it. Can you elaborate on
Shut
that a
up.
little bit?
Let's move on. Okay, so we got some Stardew Valley, got some Xenoblade for all of us. We should just buy you a Switch.
Yeah, please. I'll take your charity.
I'll see $100 each.
And then an
I
additional
don't
like
know.
$20 each for any game or controller we
That's
want to get.
true.
Yeah, forget
Guys,
that. No.
yeah,
Maybe
come on.
next Christmas, Zach.
Yeah, maybe if you're cool. Swing.
Rude.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about games.
Wait.
2018.
I'm playing a game. Can I talk about it real quick?
No.
I'll keep it brief. Well then, moving
go,
on.
No,
No,
go,
go,
yeah,
go
go
for it.
jerks.
Go for it. Go for
What
it.
game?
I had to veer pretty hard out of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I put 120-ish hours into it over the course of December, which was like 3.5
believe you beat
weeks
the
from the
game.
time it came out till the end of December.
Mhm.
I
You're
did
a
the math.
fanatic.
I shouldn't have done the math. It's like 3 to 4 hours a day on average for the entire month of December, which is a busy month. I had so much going on in December.
This man has
So there was
3
some
kids
days-
and a wife, let you know.
What the
Like,
hell are
and
you
a
doing?
full-time
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, that should tell you a little bit about how I felt about the game. It was amazing. So I needed
you abandon your family?
I needed to veer away. I needed to veer away from it hard so that I could lighten up on that playtime. I
Yeah.
will go back at some point and revisit it. But I downloaded Enter the Gungeon on Switch,
Oh,
which
oh,
has
yeah,
been
that's
out
right.
on other platforms for a long
yeah.
time.
It's been
Steam,
out for
probably
about a year.
Xbox
I think
and
it's-
PlayStation
I think it's
as
been
well.
out for like a year or something like that.
Have any of you guys played it?
I haven't, but I've seen a lot about it. It looks
It's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
It takes place in this world where everything is gun related. Absolutely everything is gun
It's just
related.
what is it? What do they call them?
Well, let me-
Hell shooters?
No, let me throw some terms at you, and you're going to roll your eyes at every single one. But they
I'm
come
already
together
rolling my
to
eyes.
make a magnificent package.
Yeah.
It is a retro, top-down,
Uh-huh.
bullet hell,
Yeah. That's what it is.
roguelike,
Mhm.
shoot 'em up game. There's probably
You
some
really
more
had
I
to
could
stretch
fit in
in that
there.
last
Did
one.
they just like put all of the like gaming buzzwords in a hat and pull them out one by one?
No, they
the
dumped
way
the
I
hat
suck
out
at
and
work?
used all of them.
Oh, wow. This is intense.
I
It's-
have seen it.
It sounds ridiculous. Like, all those descriptors make it sound all convoluted.
Yeah, I've seen it being
But
played.
it's really pretty. It's really cool to look at, and it's hard. It's very, very hard. In like 20, 30 runs, which you'll know what I mean if you played a roguelike game before, you start fresh every time. In 20 or 30 runs, I've barely made it to the end of the second floor. And I reason to believe there's like 6, 8, maybe more floors in the game. So the bosses are tough, the design's tough. I just fought a boss at the end of the second floor called the... it's a snake boss.
riveting.
Orochi?
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Amoconda or something
Oh,
like
Nice.
that.
Oh, okay. So
Everything's
using
got
the
a gun
puns.
pun in it.
So
So it's kind of like
fantastic.
Broforce.
One of
then.
the first weapons I found was a giant bullet that shoots guns.
Brit-
I found a beehive that shoots bees. There's just all kinds
me
of
hear
ridiculous
the
things to
bees.
find.
The bees.
So I just looked up the speedrun for it. It says 15 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Wow, that's pretty slow for a speed run.
No, it's not.
They must be a bigger game than I thought.
How many minutes?
15 minutes.
Like a
Oh,
a pro
52 seconds.
Spelunky world record speed run is like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, Spelunky's kind of a unique game that way, though.
Yeah.
It can go very fast, especially if you pick up the teleporter in the first couple levels.
The
I mean,
thing,
take a look at Pokemon speedruns, take a look at Zelda speedruns,
like
and they
two-
tend to be in the
2 or 3
neighborhood of...
hours.
Yeah, well, it depends on whether you're using glitches or not, but even with glitches, they tend not to be
But let's look
shorter
at-
than 10 to 15 minutes.
Let's look at roguelike specifically for comparison's sake.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny about
Spelunky
you?
is fast. This is a roguelike in the vein of Spelunky.
Mhm.
I would think the speedruns would be pretty darn quick when you know everything about the game.
You know what's funny about you, Brit?
What?
Is
Tell
that
me.
You are someone who loves AAA game titles,
Uh-huh.
and yet you go back to retro 8-bit games all the time,
true.
16-bit games.
If I hear nothing but good things about an indie game,
Like
I'm
Golf
probably going to
Story.
check it out. And Golf Story, before that came out, there wasn't even a whole lot of buzz about it. People were like, this looks interesting. But I thought it just sounded fascinating, a golf RPG. And I went for it, and I was very, very happily surprised. There was a lot of good indies last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not like
Still
Captain
haven't bought
Indie.
any of them.
Yeah, you should.
I know.
And that's
SteamWorld Dig
something-
2, do I
Yeah.
need to bring that up again?
That's
So
something that
good.
I'm sure we'll discover here, but I'm not necessarily too picky on visuals, but I can't do the retro look most of the time.
Get over it because that
Get
sounds hard.
over it!
Get over it because there is so many good experiences
I don't-
buried under that facade, and it's just a facade in a lot of cases.
I know. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't get over it.
Fine, man.
Hey, suck it up, Buttercup,
Yeah.
okay?
I put it lightly. I put it in a friendly manner.
Sorry.
All right, you guys
As
ready
friendly as you get.
to look at 2018 and all that it has in store for us?
You
Yeah.
mean you look at 2018 while we sit here and listen to you?
We'll still, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Feel free to help me out, chime in,
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about some of these games with
What
me.
about Monster Hunter?
Ooh,
It's coming up. It's in the list.
I will talk about Monster Hunter, dude. I'm so excited for
Let's
it.
I don't know.
about
Is there a date on that?
Uh,
It'll come up as we go through the months.
I,
They-
I
they
did
just
see a
announced.
vague date for.
It's-
Hey, guys, we can start
January
there.
26th.
Yeah, it's a January game. We
Yeah,
can start with that.
the-
if you
so-
want.
In a few weeks.
what is it? August? No, not August. Sorry.
That's and
autumn.
that's for the console release.
yeah, PS4, Xbox
I'm-
One, and PC.
No.
That's what Games Radar says.
PC. What I saw. maybe I'm
GameStop
wrong.
is reporting the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that
Or GameSpot, I'm sorry.
that Monster Hunter World is not going to release on
Wash your
PC
tongue.
until like fall. But maybe I'm wrong.
This could be bad info. But Zach and I are looking at 2 different sources right now, and they both
It
say
is updated a
PC
day ago.
January
Yeah,
26th.
So I played, and I'm sorry, Brittin, I don't
Can I
get
have
to
a
offend you.
question?
Yeah, what's
Is this
up?
a trilogy? Is it a series of games?
It's a
'Cause
series of
I'm
games.
interested, but
It's
I
a
never
series
played
of
it
There's
before.
dozens already.
Is it,
I mean, I'll let you play them. I have like 3 different versions.
is it scary?
No. It's like
It's a hunting game.
it's a hunting. Yeah, exactly. I
It's right
played
there in the
I
title.
played the demo at PAX 3 times.
Oh shit.
I absolutely loved it.
And you're coming off. You've played a lot of these before.
Yeah,
You're not new to the series at all. by any
I've
stretch.
played the version on the Wii, so I played 3, and then I played 3 Ultimate on the DS, and then I played the newer version on the DS, and I think
4.
4.
4 was
that's what
also
it
on the DS. Or 3DS, sorry.
So I've played a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been playing since the old, what was it, like PlayStation 1 days when it was on that console.
Yeah, I think it's been around since then.
Didn't play on any of those, so it's more recent for me. But I played the new one at PAX, and it was a lot of fun. It was very fluid, and kind of all the gripes I had about the game, where if you're doing something, you feel like you're really slow, and you're literally just mashing one button until an enemy dies. But in the new one, it felt very fluid. It felt like everything you were doing was one good motion. It didn't feel like you were just bashing buttons. Like, they actually give you different combos that you can do. Like, it will tell you like what button combinations will give you a different combo for a heavy attack or a medium attack or a light attack, like from the air, from the ground. All these different combos that it feels like you're doing so much more.
So maybe some quality of life improvements that would
Yes.
make this a better place to jump in than
Yes.
some of the other games.
Another cool thing I noticed is that you've played Monster Hunter,
Yeah,
correct?
I
Okay.
played a lot of 3 and 4.
So for the people who have played Monster Hunter, normally it's you get a mission, you go to the designated area, you find the monster, you kill it, and that's it. And sometimes you'll find like monsters, just random ones just running around the area, and you can kill those for bonus stuff.
Harvest some stuff while
Yes.
you're running around, some materials.
But when I played in the one map we were on, I remember we were going after this dinosaur thing. By the way, the 4-player co-op, awesome. It's very awesome.
That's the crux of the series.
Yes.
In Japan, it's so big because people will get together with their PSPs, their 3DSs, in 4-player groups and play together.
But I played on this map, and it's huge, and we were trying to find this like dinosaur monster, and there was like giant flying like pterodactyls and things like that, or whatever the equivalent to Monster Hunter they are. But you could literally just go after them if you want to. You could literally completely ignore the mission you're doing and go after another monster
So
that's in
sounds
this.
like much more open world.
It's way more open. Like, instead of like
Are the maps similar? Like, you have very small, very
Yes.
compartmentalized maps, and each section is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8.
But the cool thing about it is that they all felt different, and it felt so connected.
Okay.
It's very lush and cool looking. There's shortcuts to things, much more than in the other games. And it just felt a lot nicer.
I've heard people say that this is kind of a dumbed down entry in the series. Did you get that at all when you were playing the
I
demo?
didn't feel that at all. I can see why people think that, because it is kind of handholdy when it says, do this combo, like you can do this and this and this. But I think that's okay.
It's a very complex game. The combat is very complex.
And I think the thing is the people who complain about it being quote unquote very handholdy are the people who've been playing it since the first game, and so they don't need their hands held. But you can literally turn off the HUD.
Okay.
So you could turn off everything.
You could probably skip the tutorials if you don't apply it,
so
if you know all this stuff.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it being handholdy, especially in this game series, because I know when I first got into it, I didn't get it at all. And I just kind of through trial and error. But it was a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be one to keep on the radar. Dan!
Announced as of today.
Okay.
They're aiming for a fall 2018 release.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
okay.
that's why that
For PC,
information
the
was-
PC version of
And
Monster Hunter.
they've always said the PC version is going to launch later based on
Server stuff.
It sounds like the resources that they have on their team, they could get it out for the consoles a lot quicker than by trying to do all 3.
And in all honesty, console gaming is kind of the focus for most developers these days.
Because
Because that's where the money is to be made.
Capcom does a lot of console stuff.
Yeah, Capcom is not doing much these days. It's
No.
cool that they're doing some
I
stuff.
hope they make. I'm gonna say this. I kind of hope they make a Switch version. I wouldn't mind playing Monster Hunter on the Switch.
It's funny enough, Monster
I
Hunter
hear-
is available on the Switch, but only in Japan.
Yeah,
It's Monster Hunter Double Cross, which was a port of a 3DS Monster Hunter title that came out a few years ago.
And I've heard there's some kind of pseudo political whatever going on with that. That someone pissed someone else off, and now I don't remember
Yeah.
the story. I just remember that it seems like it's a dumb reason it's not coming to the Switch.
It's probably just a dumb explanation to get people off their backs while they figure
Might
out what
be.
they want to do.
Guys,
Yeah, what's up?
breaking news. Mega Man 11 is coming
I
to
don't
PS4,
That was a
Xbox,
skip
and
it.
PC.
Skip it. Don't care.
For one thing,
Skip.
the game looks awesome. For two, that news broke a month and a half ago. What's the date on this story? December 4th.
Close
try,
enough.
You're like, what is Capcom working on besides Monster Hunter? Way to use Google, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Dude, I
Appreciate it.
don't like Mega Man.
There's not a
I never
whole
will.
lot else in January. I'll name a couple. Kirby Battle Royale.
Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe cool. I don't know. No, wait, that's the 3DS one. That's not the new Switch
Never
one.
mind.
Never
Don't
mind.
care.
Tapped out. Lost Sphere is coming out, which is a Square Enix JRPG.
What systems?
It's going to be on PS4, Switch, and PC.
Okay.
Watch a trailer for it. It looks kind of cool. Something about the main character has the ability to fill in lost memories that make up the world.
Is that why the game's called?
So the
Lost
world is
Memory?
fading, and he uses this talent to kind of rebuild it as you
That sounds
explore.
cool.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. Could be cool. Worth looking at.
Calm down. Jesus.
Hey, you guys like Dragon Ball?
No.
Anybody?
Okay. So I do like some of the games, and I know exactly what game you're talking
Dragon Ball
about.
Fighters.
Yes. Yes.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
It is a 2D fighting Marvel vs. Capcom style game.
And what struck me about it is it looks exactly like the show, which
Yeah.
is super cool. They nailed the art style.
They are.
It looks very much like you're watching one of the fights from that show.
It
play
doesn't.
out.
It doesn't feel like you're.
And that's
Getting-
kind of like what Cuphead did for like 50s
Yeah.
animation style.
Yeah.
20s.
I mean,
or
there was a
20s,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball Z game back on the GameCube, wasn't there?
Well, there's a ton of Dragon Ball Z games, and they're kind of weird.
But
Like
they
they're kind
look like video games. They don't look like Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z.
Well, I mean, the one I watched or the one I played, it was fighting 1-on-1, but it kind of looked like the show.
a lot of them are like that, but they're like in a 360 almost arena. This is a 2D style,
Kind of
like
like a Mortal Kombat kind of layout.
Mortal Kombat, Street
Yeah.
Fighter,
Tekken.
like fighting games.
But
that
it'll
you-
go into dynamic shots that are crazy over the top
Yes.
moves that look like something out of the show.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
It's not strictly 2D.
I don't play a lot of fighting games, but this actually really piques my interest, and I kind of want to play it.
You know
Yeah,
what,
just the look was enough to.
Yeah.
if we're gonna do a video, I think to be honest, it'd be a fun game to play.
It would be. It'd be an absolutely fun game to play.
One
I'm
of us would have
totally
to buy
down.
it, though.
Totally down to get on board with that.
That is coming to not Switch as well.
Yeah, of course.
PS4,
PC.
Xbox One, PC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The typical next gen
I
setup.
have a game.
What you
What?
got?
Sea of Thieves.
That's
Oh,
not
I've heard
till
of that.
March.
I know. I'm so.
I've heard it.
It does
Where's
look
from?
cool.
Why have I heard of that?
I've heard it too.
I've talked to you about it,
Yeah.
Dan.
It's
Go
a
ahead,
kind of
Zach.
like a first-person pirate game on Xbox and PC, but basically everybody playing together has to run and like pilot and play as a single crew on a pirate
Right.
ship.
Oh,
In an
that
open
sounds
world.
great.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is one of those types of games that I have always thought was super cool.
Mhm.
That I don't think enough games are made that do this. The idea is, right, in most games, if you have your pirate ship, you pretty much just control that pirate ship by yourself, right? And there are a few games where you have to like cooperate with like another person or whatever, but there aren't very many where like you have a specific job and that specific job is in great
Man the
detail.
cannon,
So, like,
swab
man
the
the
poop
cannons.
deck.
You actually have to go and like get the cannon ready, and like you have certain actions you have to do. I don't know if that's how this game works, but that's kind of how I imagine it. You are in charge of your cannon. You're
Right.
not in charge of anything else. The person at the helm of the ship is just in charge of making sure the ship goes like this. They can't manage the sails. Someone else is doing the sails.
You probably have to have somebody in the crow's
Right.
nest shouting out what's ahead, what's behind.
It looks.
What's on your six?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen too much about it, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also, what's
I
cool
hope it lives up to my expectations.
So when they
It'd be great if it did.
when they first announced it, it was very spotty. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting good reviews. People were saying like it didn't run very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably because of the alpha.
I don't know for sure, but I don't know if they delayed it or not because I heard about it a long.
I don't
time
think they
ago.
ever actually had a firm release date until
Yeah.
this March date, but it was announced a long, long time ago.
Yeah. caught an early access.
Although it
purgatory.
hasn't been playable. There may have been a beta or something like that, I guess.
Well,
I'm not
people were
sure.
saying it wasn't running well. I'm sure it was.
Oh,
playable
yeah, right.
somewhere.
It's worth noting also it's developed by Rare, which
Oh, okay.
Microsoft acquired Rare, 6 to 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And they've had them doing things like building sports games for the Kinect, building the Avatar system for Xbox. Not really doing inspired projects like Rare has done in the past.
No Banjo-Kazooie.
So it's cool to see Rare spreading their wings again and doing something unique and
If Rare-
befitting of their talent.
I mean, the art style. You know what that means? Grant Kirkhope's going to be doing the soundtrack.
I don't know, maybe.
How
It's
good-
not really like a
Yeah, it's not a
whimsical
goofy,
looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, if he does do it, because he's
But
their
hey,
sound guy.
Yeah, we want to see
He's a music guy.
Grant Kirkhope branch out a little bit too. Maybe
Yeah.
do things he's not known for. But he's very good at like the whole tropical islandy kind of sound.
Yeah.
And that would fit
That is-
this.
It's very
Yeah,
fun.
setting.
I love steel drums. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, steel drums are good.
Have you ever listened to Grant Kirkhope's music before, Zach?
No.
Man, we need to get you a soundtrack. What
Got
else?
some good stuff.
For Christmas.
Shadow of the Colossus is getting yet another remake.
Yeah, it is.
Are you excited about that?
I absolutely love Shadow of the Colossus.
I'm a big fan too. But do you think this is a bit much or no?
Is it for what console?
It's
is
just
it?
PS4. And this is a full-on remake. This is not a remaster like we got a few years ago, an HD up-res of the previous version.
Oh, this is a
They're
top
rebuilding
down.
this game from scratch.
That's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
I love Shadow of the Colossus. It's one of my favorite PlayStation games of all time.
Wow, I didn't know that about you.
Mhm.
It's a great game.
It's a great
It's
game.
very unique.
Guess
It's a string of 15 boss fights.
You've never played it.
essentially.
I even played it.
Yo, you did!
you?
Yeah! Whoa!
I know.
Yo, ding, ding, ding,
We are clicking today, guys.
Dang, stop the podcast now. Let's just end it.
I have played it, but only a little bit and a long time ago.
Now's
but
your
I
chance.
have technically played it.
Do you have a PS4?
No.
Never
My roommate
mind.
does.
Now's not your
My roommate
chance.
does.
Now's maybe your chance.
I think it's on PC.
No, that's always been a PlayStation franchise.
Oh.
It's PS4 exclusive.
They're like, let's keep re-releasing the same game to make people think we're making a sequel. We're not actually making a sequel.
It's working on us.
Yeah, well, we keep buying it.
We
so
we
this will be
talk
the
about
third
this
version I've bought.
series once every 3 years or so. It seems like
What,
2
Shadow
or
of the
3 years.
Colossus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it never goes away.
No.
Which there could be worse games that would.
Because
do
they
that too.
realized that all the games that wanted to live up to it don't. So they just
Yeah,
keep re-releasing
there's
it.
been some attempts, hasn't there? Like
Yeah.
Rhyme just came out this last year, and it's in the vein. It's kind of this lonely, isolated exploration game in a world with crazy architecture and
Last
Oh,
Guardian
yeah.
lots of
tried to do
puzzles.
I watched my roommate play some of that too.
Yeah. What do you think of it? Do you know?
It looked immensely frustrating, but also really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shadow of the Colossus. You could say the same about that in a lot of ways.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
What else?
I know we all know about it, but what are you guys' opinions on Far Cry 5?
I'm glad you brought it up. I was looking forward to talking about it.
You
I love
this
the Far Cry
franchise.
series
Yeah.
a lot. I've played them all.
People want it to be more like 3 though, which it's not going to be.
What do you mean by more like 3? Because 4, the last one, was a lot like 3. Well, okay, the last proper
I
Yeah,
think
numbered entry.
I think people don't like. People didn't like the story of 4. I didn't play 4 personally. I've seen a lot of it. I played a little bit of it, but
I finished 4. You know how I would describe 4?
How?
More of 3. So I liked it, but 3 was the groundbreaking game. 3 was the one that kind of took. They advertised it as like a shooter, but RPG at the same time,
But
like Skyrim, but with guns.
But I'm
basically,
not
is how
talking
they
about-
talked it up.
I'm not talking about like the gameplay. The gameplay was like 3. I
Okay.
think people were talking about like the story, the villain, like the main villain
He
of
was
the game
fantastic.
is kind of like what really grabs you in. But people wanted more of what's his name?
Voss.
Yeah.
Nobody could hold up to Voss. Although,
No.
it's funny enough, Voss is only in like the first third of that game.
Yeah,
he's
he's not
one
in a lot.
of 3 or 4 major villains in that game.
Yeah.
But they're all very memorable. Ubisoft with this franchise in particular does a really good job of making despisable, despicable villains.
Well, he kind of buried someone's head in the sand and they died that way. So.
He does lots of bad things.
Yeah.
He's a jerk.
That's
but
not
at the
a
same
spoiler.
time,
that is literally in the first.
at the
part
same
of the
time,
game.
they're magnetic. You just
Yeah.
want to see them on screen, giving their little dissertations, their soliloquies, sounding all philosophical, and then they do something horrible.
Yeah,
There's
crazy.
something magnetic about that, which seems counterintuitive, but they're great
No,
villains.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Most like characters that are great because you hate them so much.
Yeah.
I played Far Cry at PAX too. It was a lot of fun.
Far Cry 5?
Yeah.
What was the demo like? Probably not much story, right?
No.
Okay.
It was like what was it? You start and you have to go to this little village to like kill all the bad guys, and you can do it like one of three ways. You can do it super stealthy, where no one will ever see you coming, or you can go in guns a-blazing, which is kind of Far Cry-esque.
That's one of the great things about that series. You can approach any encounter in that game in a huge variety of ways.
Yeah.
You can sit back in the hills with your monocular and scan everything in an encampment, find ammo caches, find people that are in watchtowers, find security alarm systems and stuff like that, and label it all so that when you do eventually sneak into the camp, because you're probably playing stealth if you go that route, you'll just know where everything is and you can methodically take the camp apart. Or like you said, you could just run in with your machine guns. You can drive a Jeep through the front gate of the encampment and take it out that way. You can attach explosives to the Jeep, drive it in, jump out of it, and detonate them before.
I also, because the demo wasn't that long, and after that particular mission, you were able to fly a plane. A lot of people didn't get to the plane part because they were kind of like, they didn't get past that first part, but I was able to get past and get to where you could fly a plane.
I think that's
super cool.
Okay,
I kamikaze into the ground before I
It's awesome. Fairly new to the series. There was like a gyrocopter, if I remember right, in 4, but there hasn't been a full-on plane you can pilot.
Nope.
So that opens up some interesting possibilities.
Full-on plane.
It's like a biplane or a jet.
Propeller.
Okay.
Prop plane.
Sweet.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game looks cool.
For me, I've probably spent an hour playing a Far Cry title at one point, I remember enjoying myself, but it's one of a long list of games that, and this is something Brittin gives me crap for all the time, that I start a game and I'm like, that was cool, and then never get back to it.
Xenoblade.
So, I have sat down on several occasions to play Xenoblade.
Okay, cool. I won't give you crap about that particular game.
So, then for me, should I try and get a Far Cry 4 experience, or is Far Cry 5 close enough that I should just pick it up?
I think Far Cry 5, they're going with the same formula.
Do you like
when
more,
is it releasing?
Do you like more of a rural landscape, or do you like more jungle? Because at that point,
not that rural. It's like the.
What are you talking about?
It's like the Wyoming wilderness.
Yeah, but it's in Wyoming of all places. Yeah, that's rural.
Definition of rural.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of urban?
Yeah, you're thinking of
urban. We haven't got the urban Far Cry yet.
On Far Cry 5, we don't have one.
We do. March
27th.
Okay. No, wait. February 27th.
Oh, okay.
Even sooner. You know what I would say, Dan? I haven't played this game yet. I'd say start with 3.
Okay.
It's the most interesting game in the series.
I know I own a Far Cry. I don't know which one or ones, because you know how Humble Bundle is, and you know how Steam.
You probably own 3, in all honesty. That's the one they just hand out right and left.
You would say that I should play 3 if I'm going to play a Far Cry?
3 is one of the best first-person shooters ever. And it's because of that variety of options and how you approach every situation in the game.
It used to scare the crap out of me.
I actually like... did it?
Yeah.
The animals and stuff like that? Or
back then I only had like a 720p box TV. And so I'd play it, but I couldn't see anything. So when I was being hunted by a leopard, I could hear it. I knew it was there, but I never knew when it was coming. So when it attacked me, it just made me jump.
That's good design.
Like none tomorrow.
It knew you were going to have a crappy setup, and it preyed upon you. Far Cry 2 is actually awesome, too. But we spent a lot of time on Far Cry. We can move on to whatever's
next. Is my article wrong?
I don't see much in March. The Crew,
I
Yakuza, Agony.
Ni no Kuni, too?
Is that in March?
It says March 23rd.
Tell me about Ni no Kuni.
Ni no Kuni's a cool series. You at least know this, Dan, I'm sure. It was co-developed by Studio Ghibli. It's that RPG that came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, that all the art was done by Studio Ghibli. I'm not sure who developed the game part of the game, but it's a pretty good, pretty typical JRPG. But I don't need to say much more than Studio Ghibli gives it an extra quality that would make it worth playing on its own. You don't really need much more reason than that to check it out, at least. I didn't see it through to the end because mechanically it was a little more shallow than the JRPGs.
You sat down and you started a game and said, this is pretty cool, and then didn't finish it?
I didn't say that. I don't do that kind of thing. No way. You got the wrong guy. So, yeah, 2 looks like more of that, and I might check it out. Is that only on PS4, Zach?
Let's see.
If it's not on Switch, cross it off the list.
Are you guys impressed so far? How many Switch games have we talked about?
None.
This is a pretty diverse list.
Then again,
PS4
there isn't
and
many.
PC, so you're screwed.
PS4. I have a PS4.
All right. Well, okay. Let's
Dust
take a
it off.
moment. Let's take a moment and talk about why there aren't any Switch releases on our list yet, because they have a direct coming up that we haven't seen.
Yeah, there's
I'm
likely
sure.
a Nintendo Direct next week, and we're gonna try to get together and watch it and maybe talk about that.
Is that?
Let's also remember the Amazon thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. How many
do you want to
titles
go
went
into
up?
that?
You mean it wasn't eBay?
Briefly.
Yeah, there was like I think 6 to 8 titles, unnamed titles, unannounced
I
titles
think
for
it
the
was more
Nintendo
than
Switch.
that. I think it was in like the 12 or 14 range.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were a lot. It looked like it was just a few at first, and then it was actually significant.
So yeah, these were listings on Amazon for unknown Switch games, and I think they actually said in the listings to be revealed at Nintendo event or something like that.
Was it?
The weird
Amazon or
thing-
eBay?
The only
was
one
Amazon.
the only one we know of right now is Bayonetta 3. That's the only
Here's
game we
another
know of.
thing to consider, though. There's also some listings on Amazon for games we do know about that don't have firm release dates. Like Project Octopath Traveler is a game that's coming for Switch next year. There's a listing for that on
What
Amazon.
is that?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, Amazon has named listings for a lot of these games without dates too. So it makes it sound like these are all completely unknown quantities. Let's not get too excited because
Sure.
I tend to get carried away with my anticipation of Nintendo stuff
your
sometimes.
your hype is out of this world.
But, man,
it's a little insane.
If Nintendo has as much in store for us this year as they did last year, we're in for some treats. Is this Project Octopath
Yeah, Project
Traveler?
Octopath Traveler. This is one that there was a demo of it earlier this year. It's
Oh,
I hope
it's
I
8-bit,
have
I
the
don't
right one.
care.
Beautiful art style. That's so much more than
okay.
8.
So you remember what I said before about how I don't like
like
necessarily
56
retro
bits.
Yeah.
things. So
I take
this
it back.
This is as far back as I'll go. Is this kind
It's
of
like
thing.
Super Nintendo
Yeah,
era.
like Super Nintendo era. This is
a Final Fantasy game
classic-
as 3D.
classic Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
It
in
kind of
terms feel.
turns like Final Fantasy 3, something from that era, into
Yeah.
like almost a pop-up book.
So do you think they're gonna have 12 paths that you can travel to?
You mean 8?
Oh,
8 paths
yeah.
that you can. Dang it!
They actually, that's exactly how the
that's
game
exactly
works.
what it is.
Okay.
The music is already phenomenal. I really
It's
like the
wonderful,
music from
isn't
that
it?
game.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause we
open it
played
up
through the
and it's like,
demo.
boom. Oh my god.
It's
You played
great.
through the demo?
Yeah.
The
You
what?
can download it on Switch right now.
Oh.
Not that you don't have any other all-consuming JRPGs to spend your time on.
That
Maybe
would
wait till after Xenoblade.
that would require me to download something digitally to my Switch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't want that disgusting virus software on my
I
Switch.
don't understand
Stop.
you.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Oh.
Make an exception, just this one time.
I had my a hand put on my shoulder. What is this?
There's a game called Agony
Okay.
coming out March 30th. and it
Oh,
looks
is
like
this
a-
one of those super edgy ones?
I
There was a
Did it?
really
Yeah.
edgy one that came out last year or the year before.
Is it called PUBG? Because that's
No.
really edgy.
I don't
It
know
was
how
like-
edgy or if it actually
Like
goes
gory
into
edgy?
gore.
I mean, gory. The
Oh,
game.
this is very gory.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Like, it was just, like, over the top.
No, I don't want to see titties.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah, I don't like this.
It's like succubi eating things and
And then
A
you're a
scary
zombie.
place.
Yeah. And then you hear noises like ah.
stop it. I don't like that. It's a scary sound.
It reminds me of Left 4 Dead.
Have you guys heard of We Happy Few?
Yeah.
This was announced
No.
probably 2.5 years ago, and it was a very basic announcement and demo back then, but it's been fleshed out a lot since then. It kind of gives me like a BioShock vibe. Can you guys pay attention?
Sorry, we're talking about Doki Doki Literature Club.
Now? Wait till the show's over.
There's-
okay?
I have a reason for this. I'm looking to see if I can find some information.
There's never a
So,
time where it's
go
not
ahead.
a good time.
We Happy Few. You live in this place where everybody is perpetually doped up on some kind of drug
Is
that
this
makes
a weed
everyone
game?
happy and kind of pacified.
Uh-huh.
And your player character, I guess, kind of escapes the medication, the influences of these drugs, and starts to see the world for what it actually is.
Yeah.
And it's clear that this society is being completely placated and controlled in some way.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're slowly discovering what's actually going on in the world and maybe dismantling some evil organization that's overseeing it. Maybe it's just a giant shot at the big pharma in the United States.
Do you have
I
to
don't know.
sneak around and go into people's houses and finding out clues?
I don't know about that.
I don't know why. When you said that and said that premise, the first game that came to my mind was Hello Neighbor. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I don't know.
It looks interesting. Kind of has a... how would you describe that graphical style, Zach? Everybody has like mime
Garbage.
masks on for some reason.
Mind masks.
Mime masks. Yeah,
Oh,
a lot of white
interesting.
face. It's
you want me
weird.
to read the description?
Yeah, sure,
No.
go for it.
Is that a no?
I don't know.
Okay, so We Have a Few is practically a must-play based on the concept alone, which somehow manages to blend a Bioshock-style society of deranged drug addicts and the kitschy 1960s whimsy of Austin Powers into one delightfully creepy survival game. You play as one of the survival residents of the fictitious English city of Wellington Wells, navigating first person through a society where residents are forced to take a daily dose of hallucinogenic pill known as joy. You refuse to take your medicine and have been labeled a kill-on-sight downer. Forced to flee from the mind-altered citizens and coppers while crafting and scavenging for anything that might help you survive. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. I was pretty close. I wasn't too far off in my rambling description.
Yeah, you ramble a lot.
So that's actually the extent of games with firm release dates next year. Dan, put your phone away. Don't make me come over there.
I'm looking up
He's on
information on a
Reddit.
topic
He's
that I'm
lost.
going to bring up.
Is it a game that's coming out this year?
Yes,
Yes.
maybe.
Do you want to talk about it now?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's
Come on,
going.
do it.
Let's
I'll
talk
find a-
about
I'll find a good moment
Let's talk
for it.
about TBH, possibly 2018.
So yeah, there's a big list of games that are confirmed for 2018 but don't have firm dates.
Yeah.
So we could skim through that
How are we-
and point out a couple
We're
of them.
hitting the timeline right at the same point.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Are we?
Yeah.
Look
We're
at
in
you guys.
sync.
You guys are
We
you
are
guys
in
are on
sync.
top of it this time. I'm proud of you guys. Look, you let
I've
Zach,
been waiting for your approval.
Look, you let Zach do the intro one time, and he's all for the episode all of a sudden.
Took it over.
Yeah,
We
he
need
was
to
like,
do this
"I'm
more
on
often."
this, guys. Don't you worry about it."
Did you guys play the Crackdown? The Dark Side.
Dude, Crackdown, love that game.
I looked at two games at the same time and I said they're on
Can we
one.
talk about Crackdown first?
Do you want to?
Yes.
Go for it.
Absolutely love the
Crackdown
first
3 is
one.
coming out.
First one was amazing. Second one was garbage. So hopefully the third one will be good. That's literally all I'm gonna leave it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't played any of them.
Think of it like Grand Theft Auto.
But
But
superpowers, right?
you're the good guy, and you have
Okay.
superpowers, and it's not Saints
All I've
Row.
heard about that
I was
first
going
one
to
is
say, was that not just Saints Row?
Shut up! It's not.
agility orbs. All I heard anyone talk about in that game was agility
Yeah.
orbs. What does
okay.
that mean?
So essentially, if oh man, I have to dig in my memory. It's been a while.
Does it make you jump higher and run faster?
Yes.
And junk
So
like that?
here's the thing: is that you start out as this scrawny little character that can, run pretty quickly and jump around, decently high, but the more things you do, missions complete, you do side quests, you just collect things in the world, you get orbs. And I believe it was strength, speed, agility, and then there was one other one, I don't remember exactly. Oh, guns. Shooting. You would get these orbs, and it would not only level up your character, but it would physically make him look different. So
That's cool.
instead of at the beginning of the game, running like a barely fast, now you're chasing cars down the road, and you don't even have to get in one because you're as fast as one.
And you got huge legs.
Yeah, you do have
That's funny.
huge legs, and then you pick things up, and then you're stronger. You have bigger biceps and things like that.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun.
It just sounds like it's meant to be a fun, goofy playground, right?
It kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But the story was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
But 2 kind of took itself away from that, and for whatever reason threw zombies in the game, and
Okay.
it was a mess.
Zombies were hot, right?
Yeah,
Back
at the
then.
time. Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Zombies are still hot.
But I stop
They're-
saying
they're in
zombies
the-
are hot.
they're in the
Please,
zeitgeist.
stop saying zombies are
Do you
hot.
disagree?
So
Yeah.
speaking of zombies,
I didn't finish.
Days Gone.
I don't
Go ahead,
care.
continue.
I don't care about that game. I hope Crackdown 3 is good. Like, that's all I want.
You know what?
Days
Honestly,
Gone does sound really good. Is that the one where like the trailer is literally like you're running away from this horde that's
hundreds
like
and hundreds of
But-
zombies.
essentially like jumping over each
That
other?
is a
to get to
PS4
you?
exclusive.
I'm kind
Yes.
of conflicted with it though, because I don't know if it's actually going to be like there's going to be like
World War
different,
Z.
like- yeah, I think
They're
there's gonna be,
literally
like
making-
fighting a horde like the whole
They're
time.
making a game based on World War Z.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
I always thought Call of Duty should tackle that.
They
Because
did. It's called Zombies.
World War Z came out shortly after the first Nazi zombies thing, I want to say. Or at least the book did.
Yeah.
And I was like, why isn't there a full game, a Call of Duty with a campaign based on this whole zombie thing?
Uh-huh.
Call the game Call of Duty World War Z. It just sounds,
I
it
need
rolls
you to
off the
stop.
top.
Yeah,
Maybe this is just me. I was over zombies as soon as they started getting popular. Like back when Left 4 Dead originally launched, I was like, man, I don't really like zombies that much.
I like
this
zombies.
Doesn't stay around.
I like zombies
Boy.
before they were cool. Back when Resident Evil 1 and 2 were
I've
coming out.
never liked zombies.
No?
No, I just
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. Did you play The Walking Dead season 1?
No,
It's a masterpiece.
I've watched the show. I know that the game's better, but
That could change your mind about zombies.
point being, no, I mean, I enjoyed The Walking Dead. I enjoyed watching it. I understand the flaws that are in the show, what people don't like about it, and all that.
People died.
But here's the thing:
Major
what I
flaw.
liked about The Walking Dead was not that there were zombies. Like the zombies were
That is the
a
point.
way to have the setting, but it's never like the zombies stopped being. Like by themselves, stop being an obstacle by like halfway through season 1, right? After that, it's only ever zombies in the context of something. You're trapped in, a dead end alley with 500 zombies in front of you. Good luck.
Right.
Zombies used as, various tools in various other ways. It's like, it's never... They're always able to get away from zombies or fight them off or whatever, but it's when they have to do that at the same time as a bunch of other things or in conflict with other people. And that's what it was. It was the people. It was the relationships. It was the stories that way. Way more interesting.
So the games that focus on the action related to zombies just don't do anything for you.
Right.
That's fine.
That's
fair.
Are we still talking about
fine
zombies?
enough,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give us like 10 more minutes and we'll be done talking about zombies.
Gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Then we'll
Can
leave us 4 minutes
Can I
left.
double back on Darksiders for a second?
With
Did you guys
Darksiders?
play any of those?
Oh, yeah. I love Darksiders.
The first Darksiders was on PS3 360. It was very much like a Zelda clone.
Yeah.
It felt so much like Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, something like that, but in a little edgier, grittier tone.
Yeah.
Darksiders 2 kind of took that formula and added some more RPG-ish
They
stuff
added
to
the
it.
four
They
horsemen.
added loot. The premise was always these are you play as one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. In the first one you play as War.
Yeah.
Second game you play as Death. And at points this franchise has
awesome.
changed hands and it has seemed like it was just going to die and not continue. But here we are with
Ironic.
the third one. We're actually getting close to seeing all four of the horsemen.
So which one is this one?
This is 3.
No.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
They've said, I think it's Pestilence, if I'm not mistaken.
What is pestilence? This just sounds like someone's
Disease.
poking
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
I don't know. We'll see. Could be cool.
Yeah, disease and famine are different ones, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Those both sound really lame.
Okay, this should be a good conversation piece. God of War. Dude, we're insane. This is great, Zach.
You guys gave each other this look. Okay, look. I'm gonna say that this one I never played God of War. Didn't
Oh,
care
really?
for it.
I was
didn't
hoping
like
you
it.
guys would take over because I am not interested in
Oh,
this game
yeah,
at
I'm
all.
not interested
And
at
I
all.
love the series.
I appreciate it, but I never really played it.
Dang
Okay.
it.
That's it. That just
What about you,
fizzled
Dan?
right
Dan,
out.
this is all you, Dan.
Never played it.
Oh!
I own it. I have it somewhere.
God of
We're
War,
losers.
God of War 1 and 2 are absolute masterpieces. Everyone should play them. This looks like this slow, thoughtful, story-driven take
looks
on the
more-
series.
and I like that
That's
about it,
not
though.
what I play those games for.
It's because they saw The Last of Us. They're like, hey, let's make a Last
It
of Us
does
clone.
kind of have that feel,
It
doesn't
has
it?
a Last of Us clone.
Like
feel.
Kratos, the god
He's
of
a dad.
War. He's being a
He's
dad.
your dad!
He's teaching his son how to hunt.
Is that,
It's
do you
adorable.
teach your girls how to hunt, Brittin?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
we'll get there eventually. They're
Got
still
it.
pretty little.
Yeah, fair enough.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you.
Here is perhaps my most anticipated game of 2018, and
Zach
it's
was
not a
really
Switch
excited.
game. It's not a Nintendo game.
What is it?
It's Red Dead Redemption 2. I cannot.
It's not
wait.
good or bad.
I played the first one.
Did you get past Mexico?
Yeah,
Did you?
I
job.
I beat the game.
Oh wow.
I just didn't care.
Usually
for it.
people don't get past
Really?
that point because
Look.
it's so slow and plodding. But when you get to the last part of the game where the story arc really takes off, it changes everything.
I'm gonna be honest. I am not okay. I love open world games. They're my favorite kind of games. But there's just something about Rockstar that just doesn't do it for me.
I would say that about pretty much every other Rockstar game. This is an exception for me.
It was fun. Don't get me wrong.
Let
I
me ask you
really
this: Do
enjoyed
you
it.
like westerns?
No.
It's hugely important that you like westerns if you're going to enjoy this game.
No, I don't.
That about sums it up then. Because
I don't.
Rockstar are masters of telling stories in kind of a more mature way than a lot of other studios. And by mature, I don't mean like, haha, look how much gore is in this game. I mean,
Sex and nudity.
I mean, the writing just feels a little bit more
Mature.
thought out,
No, I know.
thoughtful.
A little bit
they
more
almost,
real sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
they almost come across as like Tarantino films.
Yeah.
which he's not always the most mature in that regard. But I hope you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're saying.
So they craft amazing characters that you get attached to, and they're very flawed characters. There's rarely a character in a Rockstar game that is just ultimately good or ultimately bad. They're very multi-layered, and they introduce them and teach you about them in very smart ways. Through dialogue, through cutscenes.
You're trying to convince me to play it, and the thing is I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm absolutely gonna play the second
But if you
one.
don't like westerns, don't bother.
Okay, got it. So I guess I'll stick to Xenoblade Chronicle 2 then.
And I guess there's
Forever.
there's a theme. I loved L.A. Noire too, and a lot of that was because I love that setting. I love film noir. I don't watch a ton of them, but when I do, I'm
90s, right?
I'm engrossed by that setting, that era.
Early 1900s, right?
You're just gonna say early '90s.
Sorry, 1900s.
Noir is like 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
generally speaking.
You were born around that time,
Yeah.
right?
A little bit.
You're an
later
old
than
guy.
that.
70,
Okay.
80?
I think 50s and 60s.
You think?
Keep going. You're not quite there yet.
90? He's a century old!
I can't wait for this game. Zach, you wanted to talk about it too. What are you thinking?
I made it like 3/4 way through the first one.
Okay, so
absolutely
you made
loved
it out
it.
of Mexico.
Absolutely loved it.
Okay,
I love how you made it out of Mexico, right?
that's the thing. That's where the boys become men.
The boys
It separates the
become
wheat
men.
from the chaff. Yeah, if you don't make it past that point, you have not seen what that game has to offer.
I absolutely loved it, but I ended up getting distracted by I don't know what.
Yeah,
By
that
the
happens
what?
to me too.
But I don't know
That
what.
happens to me a lot.
You can. I know that about you, Dan, for sure. You can be
Yeah.
in love with a game, and then if something else
distracted
takes you away
when you
from
have
it,
to
it's
clean
just
the
hard to get
kitchen.
back to it
Agree.
sometimes. Yeah, that very well could be the most important release next year.
What else?
Depending on.
It
Go ahead.
sounds like then we are at the point where we can start talking about hypothetical games for next year. Things that either we know are coming but don't know they're released, or don't even know if they're coming but we have some theories, right?
Go right ahead.
Real quick.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They already postponed Red Dead Redemption 2 once, right?
I believe so.
You think they're gonna do it again?
No.
No,
I think they're going to do it this time.
not again. That is actually the typical release window for a Rockstar game too. They're saying spring 2018. Almost all their big releases are around May or June of their respective years.
They want to
seems
be in
likely.
time for the game of the year.
So
They want to sweep it.
That's important.
So the first one that I want to mention, I have a couple in mind here, and I know some other people probably have some other ones. The first one I'm only going to touch on briefly. We've talked about Doki Doki Literature Club before. There are
Never
some
heard of it.
fan theories. There's zero confirmation for this, but there's some fan theories based on some information you can find in the game that the Team Salvato, who made Doki Doki Literature Club, is making another game. Probably not the same genre, but maybe.
No, it's not.
Well, we don't know. There's literally the only information that we have is based on stuff that was found in the game files and like by manipulating stuff in game. So it's all hypothetical, right? But that's given the one specific piece of data though is that that's going to happen in 2018, according to what was found in the game files.
Do you think that's enough time for them to flesh out a whole new concept?
Well,
it's going to blow your mind like the last one did?
First off, if it's another like visual novel style game, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be too hard. And there are a lot of other genres they potentially could do that might not take as much investment. So making a turn-based, classically styled RPG would be doable. I don't know if it would fit what they want to do.
Odd departure, but sure.
Yeah, well, it sounds like that could happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Okay,
I just
that's
wanted to
exciting.
mention that as a thing that I'm keeping my eyes out for. The other one is the possibility of a Pokemon game next year.
Dude,
So I don't want to dwell on this either.
you're the
There's-
naysayer here. I think it could happen.
could.
You're always saying no,
I think
no,
it could.
not
So
in 2018.
so
way.
here's the pattern that we have for Pokemon games. They'll release a few games year after year after year, and then they'll take a year off. They always release these days. They always release it like third week of November. Like it is clockwork when they
Right.
release these games. So then the question is, we just released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. We just saw that come out, and now do we expect them, while they're jumping both to a new generation and to a new console, will they take an extra year to make that happen, or do you think that they'll have it on pace for this year? From that perspective, I think if you're just looking at it from the Pokemon Company's perspective, it makes more sense to push it off one more year to have more time to build a game for the new system.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, and this is the other thing to consider, is that Nintendo, with the Switch, is going to want big titles next year to push sales.
No
Now,
doubt.
we haven't seen the Direct yet, so we don't know what that's going to look like.
Smash Bros.
There are a lot of things that potentially could be, like Smash Bros.
Yep.
Metroid, right? Is
We'll
another
get to
one
that.
might
Keep
come
going
out.
with Pokemon.
but-
It's a Metroid.
But Pokemon is another. I mean, Pokemon prints money always,
Uh-huh.
like every single time. So if they decide to release Pokemon next year and do it like they always do in November in time for holiday season, it would be perfect in a lot of ways because they want to sell a lot of systems next year, and
Yep.
Pokemon is a great way to do that. By that time, there's going to be enough consumer confidence in the Switch because you more or less have that now. You know, the library is pretty decent already,
Yep.
and it's only going to get better throughout the next year. And then on top of that, parents are going to be able to look at reviews of things and say, okay, so the Switch is good. It holds up. It's quality. You know, it's durable. Whatever. We can get this for our kid, even
Yep.
if it is, you know, a $360 investment for the game.
You know,
and
parents are these days.
for the Switch and the game. So.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I would be cool to see it because I have a Switch already. So all it would be is buying a new game for me, and
Right.
I'm excited to see Pokemon come to the Switch.
And people I've talked to, our friend Brooks included, have
Uh-huh.
said that's the game that will make them buy a Switch.
Yes.
So, and that's probably true for many, many people out
I
there.
would guess so.
So you're right. It's going to sell systems.
Yep. So I mean, if I had to guess right now, I mean, honestly, I would put it at a 50-50 that it comes out next year.
'Kay.
Because there
This
are...
year. Next year. What are you saying?
this year, I guess. Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
Just because it's...
Happy New Year!
There are great reasons for it to come out and great reasons for them to take another year for it.
Sure.
And it's just... I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff, so I don't know which one of those is actually weighted more heavily.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, it's probably a bigger team now than it's ever been. So there's so many factors you could figure into it.
Mm-hmm.
That theorizing is probably pointless, honestly.
And taking Sun and Moon to Ultra Sun and Moon would not have required the full team, and didn't. They've
Right.
said that they had a smaller team working on what is ultimately like an updated game.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I hope that comes out this year. If not, more time is always better.
Yep.
It's going to be a better game for it if it is 2019, which means there'll have to be other stuff to flesh out the release calendar
Right,
this year.
like
I
Super Smash
do
Brothers.
think Super Smash Bros. Is very, very likely for this year. And enough time has passed since Smash 4 came out
That
that
they could
we,
release a brand
we
new
could be
one.
looking at a new entry entirely.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think?
I really hope so.
Brand new Smash Bros? It doesn't need to be, in all honesty.
But if it was, like, I don't think, I don't remember the creator's name of it off the top of my
Sakurai.
head. Sakurai. He's not going to do it. There's no way.
He's said that, but creative
He-
types are always saying things
I
like
know,
that.
but, like,
I'm done.
he
I'm gonna
literally
move on from
killed
this.
himself building this
Don't
game.
say literally.
He almost did.
Didn't. He's around.
We'll see.
I would also like to
cross
see
our
him do some
fingers.
other projects because he's done some cool little small projects on the side
Kirby?
while working on the Smash. Yeah, and he also did Kid Icarus Uprising for
Yeah,
3DS,
it is,
which was
whatever.
a cool
yeah,
game.
whatever.
Metroid is another one that you said you wanted to talk about.
Which
a little
one?
bit. Metroid.
Yes,
is
can we
another
talk about
possibility.
Metroid?
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to squeeze
man.
a couple in that I'm excited about.
Do it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We've mentioned Metroid. Good
Sure.
enough. We'll talk about
can't
it again
wait.
later.
Ace Combat 7.
Okay.
It's supposed to come out this year, which I'm very excited about. I played one of the early ones, but I was
Rapid fire, Zach.
completely addicted to it. And then Spider-Man is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah!
Oh, we got Scotty back on board. I'm
Oh,
so glad.
dude, Spider-Man looks so freaking good.
I'm very excited.
I
about
am
it.
super okay.
It's like
look,
Uncharted meets some open world
But-
superhero game.
yeah,
They said
Yeah.
it's
but
supposed
like
to
a
be
good one.
open world, untied from any story or
Yeah.
line or anything.
Well,
so
they're
they can
saying-
craft their missions.
They're
however they
saying that,
want.
but every showcase we've seen of it, every trailer, every gameplay demonstration has seemed very linear and very scripted.
I mean, there could
so
be
I
a
don't know what to
story,
make
There's
of it
only
yet.
really
Regardless,
been one
it sounds like
trailer.
something
Yeah.
we're gonna have to talk about next time. Just we're running up on our last minute here.
I mean, we also did have to cut out in the beginning.
Only a few
So
seconds.
let's
That's
talk about Nintendo Direct. Are we gonna get together?
Yeah,
That's the
I
plan.
want to.
It's,
When is
it's
it?
going to be okay.
Thursday?
Nintendo has yet to confirm this, but
Right,
there are
but-
many sources
I think
that
it's
are
the
pointing
12th.
the 11th.
The 11th,
It's going to be
okay.
next Thursday,
Okay.
January 11th.
So next episode we might not talk about it, but the episode after
We will.
might be a Nintendo Direct episode. So
Yeah.
we'll
Which
see.
I'm totally okay with.
We were
I
kind of
like-
light on Nintendo news this time, so
Yeah, that was good though. I like that.
okay, yeah, it's good.
I
Mix
mean,
it up.
sorry. No offense.
How dare you, sir?
Sorry, you better take off that Splatoon shirt. I mean,
My SD card's getting pretty full.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
Stop.
Thanks everyone for popping in and listening to us. This is VGRx, and we have your weekly dose here.
I'm Scott.
I'm Zach.
I'm Brittin.
And I'm Dan. Signing off.
Goodbye.
Bye.